Good morning, Dean Richardson, Dean Smith.
Good morning, Dr. Panasamy. How are you?
Very good. Nice to see you.
morning.
Nice to see all new faces.
Yes, it's very nice to have you here with us today.
Thank you.
So good morning, future Scarlet Knights. We are.
Oh, you are muted.
Thank you very much. I think that was Russell who let me know. I appreciate you being on top of that. So welcome everybody. I'm so glad to have you here with us today, all you future Scarlet Knights. We are going to have a fantastic program, which is going to introduce you to all of the great stuff about Rutgers University and the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences. And I know that our panelists are very excited to have the opportunity to talk with you. Today we have with us Sarah Blackburn, who is an admissions officer with Rutgers Undergraduate Admissions. Dean Serafina Smith will be probably in and out a little bit, but here's Dean Smith, and she's also going to be hanging with us today. We also have a number of our student ambassadors with us. If our student ambassadors can just give a wave to everybody. And they are all of our upperclassmen who are here to help us out today in our chat and keep us on point for the day. They are the people in the know. Okay, so we are going to have a fantastic program here. I do ask that you keep yourselves muted during this session, just so that we can make sure that everybody can hear what is being presented. This session is being recorded, so if you prefer not to have your face on camera, you can turn off your video, and that is absolutely fine. Do feel free at any point to ask questions in the chat. Both myself and Ms. Blackburn and Dean Smith, as well as our students, will all be answering questions in that chat during the course of this session, but we will also have a Q&A at the end of the presentation process. Okay, so to get started, let me just introduce myself. I am Dean Sharice Richardson. I'm the Assistant Dean for first year students. I work with folks basically from the time they start thinking about college straight through their first year, and act as a point person within our department. We want to really thank you for joining us today. This is going to be a great opportunity. You're going to meet a lot of our faculty as we go through the course of this day. And we look forward to answering all the questions that you do have. So what I would say is I want to turn it over right now to our admissions officer, who is going to be presenting.
Thank you so much, Dean Richardson. So again, my name is Sarah Blackburn. I'm the Assistant Director of International Recruitment and Outreach here at Rutgers University, New Brunswick. I do know a thing or two about the admissions process for those that are not international students as well. So I'll go over some bits and pieces with you about the university generally, as well as about our admissions process. So for those who are unfamiliar with Rutgers, we are the 8th oldest institution of higher education in the United States. We were founded in 1766, which I hope my juniors in the room can help me with this one. That makes us about 10 years older than the United States. That's right. So we're really proud of our history as a university. We've been around for a long time, and just because we're old doesn't mean that we're not an engaging place to be. It doesn't mean that we're not constantly innovating. What it means is that we were one of the first schools in the US to be hosting students to learn at the higher level. So many programs that we founded at the university are things that were started at Rutgers first. We also were the host of the first collegiate football game, which was actually 151 years ago yesterday. Rutgers played Princeton in that first game. We have about 50,000 students at Rutgers University, New Brunswick, and about 36,000 of those students are undergraduates. And one other thing that I'll mention kind of more generally about the university, I think one of the things that makes Rutgers an awesome place to study is our location. We're about 45-minute train ride from New York City and about a 90-minute train ride from Philadelphia. That train station is located right on our campus. So students have access at their fingertips to 2 major metro areas in the United States. That means they can use it for internships, for research, and of course for fun as well. If you're that bored so close to New York City and Philadelphia, not much we can do to help you have fun. So talking a little bit about our application process. So something that I want to preface with is we do things a little bit differently than some other schools when it comes to the application. We have 7 schools that students can apply to as a first-year student. So those are the ones that are listed on this slide here in red. Students are admitted to the school, not necessarily to a major. We think that makes a lot of sense because our most popular major at Rutgers is actually undecided. Most of our students come in having an idea of what they want to study. You may know you want to study a science, but you're not quite sure which one. So allowing students the flexibility, particularly in that first year, to take many courses within their academic area can definitely help you to make a decision about what you want to study. So I'll touch briefly on each of the first-year schools. Our School of Arts and Sciences is the largest. They have about 70 majors and more than 100 majors and minors that you can choose within the school. It is definitely the place where most of our students who are truly undecided will start to begin at the university. It's definitely the largest school. It also has most of the foundational coursework that's required for any of the other professional programs. The Ernest Mario School of Pharmacy is a direct entry PharmD program, so students who are pursuing that are going straight on to their doctorate in pharmacy. Our School of Engineering offers 10 different concentrations within engineering, and just like the other schools, all students are undecided from the beginning. They'll each take a course that's going to introduce them to all of the different areas of engineering that we offer to help familiarize you. We find that students tend to change their mind. You might think you want a specific type of engineering, but you didn't know that packaging.
Muted
Our
again.
business school, oh, no worries. The business school offers 6 different concentrations within business, and our proximity to New York City, of course, makes that a very popular option for students. Many internship opportunities and all that good stuff. The Mason Gross School of the Arts is an arts conservatory. So think like your Juilliard type of an experience. Students are doing all art all the time in that program. And in order to be admitted to the School of Arts with Mason Gross, you do need to do a talent assessment. So depending on what it is that you're interested in pursuing, what that means could be different. For students doing visual art, of course, that means a portfolio. For students who are looking to do a performance art like music, dance, or theater, you would have to do a formal audition. I won't go too into the weeds with the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences because you are here with the experts today. So you'll have lots of opportunities to learn more about the majors and what the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences has to offer. But I will say that my 2 favorite Rutgers alums graduated from the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences. The first is the creator of the Doritos Locos Taco. And the second is my uncle. He graduated from SEBS in the 70s. And finally, we'll talk about the School of Nursing. So that is a direct entry nursing program. Students who are admitted to that are taking their first nursing clinical in their first semester at Rutgers. So it's a great option for students that are very sure that they want to be studying nursing. Down at the bottom here, you see our upper division schools. So any undergraduate student would have access to these schools and majors, but you would need to take at least 1 year worth of coursework at Rutgers before you could pursue those upper division schools. So those are our Blaustein School of Planning and Public Policy. They offer majors, of course, in urban planning and design, etc. The School of Communication and Information offers broadcasting, public relations, communication, media studies. That's for all of our budding news reporters. The School of Management and Labor Relations offers 2 majors, management studies and labor studies. And finally, the School of Social Work. That is a bachelor's of social work degree granting school, meaning that students who are graduating from the School of Social Work can receive advanced standing to pursue a master's degree in that area. One of the other things that's somewhat unique about our application process is you have access to apply on the application to 3 different schools within the Rutgers system. So that means any of these 7 schools that you see here on this slide for Rutgers, New Brunswick. It also means you could apply to some of the schools within our other campuses in Camden and Newark. I always encourage students to select more than 1 school. It just increases your options in terms of what you can study at the university. And if you're thinking that you might want to do a dual major within different schools at the university, that's the best way to start. So I'll ask you to go to the next slide, Dean Richardson. Thank you so much. So talking a little bit, excuse me, about our application process, we have two different applications that students are able to submit. We have our own internal application on the website, and we also accept the coalition application as well. We do not care which application you submit. In fact, when I'm reviewing your application, I won't even know unless I go to a special place to check. So it's all the same. Whatever is easiest and most comfortable for you works for us. We also ask that students self-report their grades. So rather than submitting your transcript through Naviance or asking for your counselor to send it to us that way, we ask that you get access to the self-reported academic record and type those grades in yourself. So you get a copy of your transcript and you put it in. You have options with the SAR or the self-reported academic record. You can select whether classes are AP, honors level, regular, whatever you're taking, and you just put it in right there. We also ask that you submit SAT or ACT scores if you want to. For students applying for 2021, we are actually test optional this year. So any students who are applying for fall 2021 can choose whether or not they wish to submit SAT or ACT scores. Usually the next question here is, well, should I? If you go ahead and look at our admissions webpage, we do provide an academic profile. That shows the middle 50% or the median SAT score for students that were admitted the previous year. I say if your test scores fall within that, go ahead and submit them. If they don't, choose to apply test optional. That's fine. We'll just use your grades if you think that's a better representation of the kind of student you are. Pretty much it. We do not accept letters of recommendation. We take the essay very seriously in the admissions process. We actually think of that as kind of your way of recommending yourself. So my best advice that I can give you about the essay is make sure that you're taking your time with it. Make sure that you have your English teacher or your college counselor or whoever you trust, look it over before you send it to us. One other thing I'll say is I would caution you against putting university names in your essay unless you're specifically writing it for that institution. Rutgers is not spelled Pennstate, and we do notice when we see that kind of stuff. So make sure you're editing before you press that submit button. Students are encouraged to apply before December 1st, which is our regular admission deadline. I just want to make sure if you remember nothing else that I've said today, remember that date, because if you do not apply by our regular admission deadline, you cannot be considered for any scholarships or honors programs, and we know you all want that. So just make sure that you submit your application by then. I'll go ahead and put my email in the chat as well, and I'll be answering questions. So if there's anything else you want to know about the admissions review, I'm happy to help. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Sarah is going to stay with us and she's going to be answering all those admissions questions that may come up from any of you who are here today. And we're going to launch into a video to introduce you to our wonderful school here.
What does it take to change the world? Is it education? A sense of community? Research? New experiences? It's all of those things. And all of those things live here at Rutgers School of Environmental and Biological Science. The work you do here changes the way we live, the way we think, and the way we interact with our environment on a global scale.
Rutgers has provided me many opportunities for experiential learning that I did not think that I would have in college. In my freshman year, I met with representatives from the United Nations on the sustainability goals. I was able to do water testing on the Raritan when I was in the marine science program. The university is huge, but being able to work in a club or within a group or an organization on campus makes the school a lot smaller.
Our classrooms extend beyond 4 walls to the air, water, and wind. I had the opportunity to study abroad in Belize for 2 weeks working with large animals and veterinary medicine. In Belize, I gained hands-on experience working with large animals and made great friends from different
Dean Richardson, you're muted.
Dean Richardson, you're muted, so we
Yeah.
can't hear the video.
We can't hear it.
I apologize.
on campus. The school's research impacts the real world right now. I worked on vitamin A deficiency and how it impacts the human at all life cycle points. My research experiences through SEBS have taught me that research is an investment in human health. Come build a sustainable tomorrow today. Located between Philadelphia and New York City, Rutgers is a part of a world-class metropolis where opportunities are abound. Our gliders navigate the world's oceans. Our students brave the Antarctic, and our faculty have changed the course of human history. From molecules to ecosystems, off-ramps to all aboards. Our vision is guided by a commitment to access, excellence, and relevance for a sustainable future. Don't be a spectator, be the difference. Your future starts today at the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences.
Can I also have the
What does it take to change? What does it take to?
All right, so sorry about that, a little bit of a technical difficulty. So I want to bring it down into the local level, and we're going to talk really specifically about the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences and what this small community within the university is like. So our student to faculty ratio is about 13:1, and we have a first year advising program with about 25 students to every one first year advisor within our programs of study. This gives our students a real opportunity to be able to get to know their faculty members, get to know their staff members, build those mentorships within that first year of study, and be able to continue that all the way through their education at our school. We are one of the smaller units within the university. It gives our students a lot of opportunities to do hands-on learning, as I said, build those mentorships, and get to really become a part of the campus community that they are joining here. We do offer a range of majors at our school, and we cover all areas from everything from agriculture and the environment to the biological and health sciences to food and nutrition, and opportunities to really be able to look at ways that we can solve the world's problems through applications in the sciences, social sciences like our environmental policy, and business areas like our environmental and business economics major. So there are tons of opportunities through our fields to be able to do that, as well as to prepare yourself for future study. Now, along the road, what we want our students to be able to do is to build a scaffolding for the thing that you're trying to put in place for your future. So we want you to have all of those opportunities to not only take a major and master a major while you are here. All of you probably have some idea about the things you're interested in studying at the university level. What we want to do is take you from that thought or that idea straight through an educational program, providing you with tons of different hands-on opportunities, whether it's our experiential learning opportunities, like our SPIN program, our internship opportunities through our career services, the chance to be able to do hands-on research through any of our fields of study, whether it's science-based, social science-based, business-based. You can do hands-on research with our faculty members. In addition, many of our classes use our living labs, which are located all over the state of New Jersey, as well as all over the campus community. So you'll see a few of them here in these pictures. We do have our marine stations located all over the state of New Jersey. We have a relationship with the Marine Consortium of the Caribbean. So if marine science is something you're interested in, you're absolutely going to find a ton of opportunities, both to be on the shoreline, to be on the boat, and to get out in the water, get scuba certified, whatever it might be. But there are a lot of different things that you can do here and really have that opportunity. Now, one of the things we really encourage our students to do is also get out in the world. Rutgers is not just a place that is located in New Jersey. We are a place that is making an impact all across our state, all across our nation, and certainly throughout our world. We want our students to have that same opportunity to be able to study abroad and to be able to do internships abroad and to really get world experience that they can then bring back to the state of New Jersey and really look at how do we solve the problems we face today? Rutgers is right now on the cutting edge of everything that is going on with our pandemic and trying to find ways to solve the problems of human health. How do we stem that tide? So our Rutgers University folks are right in the middle of that, and you can be too. You can be part of that experience, whether you're coming through an honors program like our general honors, you're coming into the Rutgers Honors College, whether you are going to do internships and externships and really get that hands-on learning, you're gonna have the chance to get involved in that process. We have a very vibrant community here at the university, and tons and tons of clubs and organizations. There are over 500 different clubs and organizations. And I basically like to say, if you can think of it, it probably exists. And if it doesn't exist, you can create it. We have seen students in my time here who have come in as first-year students and just a couple of years ago created an archery club because they had a passion for archery. And it didn't exist at the university. We had a student come in and start a freshwater fishing club. And that was something that he really enjoyed and he wanted to continue. So he does bass fishing. So if it doesn't exist, you can create it here. You are part of Rutgers. You are part of the world of the university, and you make the university what it is when you are here. So you will have all of those opportunities to connect with your peers, connect with your faculty, connect with staff, and help change the face of Rutgers in a way that you really think you want to see it. In addition, you want to connect with us even now. So we really encourage you to follow us on Instagram. And if you check your chat, one of the ambassadors is going to drop into the chat, or you can just scan the QR code for if you want to register for a virtual class, perhaps. We do have opportunities for you to experience what it's like to be in a virtual classroom at Rutgers University. We also want you to connect with us. So if you have follow-up questions, do feel free to reach out to us. We are available in our by phone, 848-932-3000. You can call us Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 o'clock. You can also go to our website, sebs.rutgers.edu. And if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see a little widget which says, "We are here." Click on that widget, it'll take you to our Talk To app, and you can also ask questions live with a dean or a staff member at the Office of Academic Programs. Do also feel free to email perspective@sebs.rutgers.edu, and that's also a great way to get questions answered. Sometimes if you have a little bit more complex question, you may want to use that function. We also want to get your feedback on this session at the end of this session. So do scan the QR code or check your chat and pick up the link. You have the opportunity to win lots of fabulous prizes by filling out that survey and giving us some feedback on this program. So at this point, we are going to start to take questions. So do type your questions down in the chat box, and we want to be able to connect with you, answer those questions you have today. We still have another 20 minutes for this session, so plenty of time for lots and lots of questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that we can come back together as a group here.
So I am seeing one question so far. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. Will class of 2021 have a chance to study abroad or research should the pandemic continue?
Okay, so obviously while the pandemic is ongoing, our opportunities to be able to study abroad are going to be very limited. What we want to have happen, and what I am hoping happens within this next several months, is that everyone follows protocols. Hand washing, masks, the whole 9 yards. The sooner we can get ourselves back to a healthy state in the world, the sooner we can all get on with life as we expect it to be within the college community. Your safety is our first concern always. Our student safety, our staff safety, our faculty safety. So we don't want to be traveling and going out into the world and doing that type of work when we don't know where things are going to be. We can't project right now. Now, our folks over in Blasting, our faculty, our staff in the Blasting School and in our medical school are actively tracking what is going on with the pandemic, and they are tracking the incidence of COVID and quantifying among our epidemiologists. Our epidemiologists are quantifying what does that look like, what does that mean, and our medical professionals are trying to figure out, well, what does that mean for transmission? So we will be keeping an eye on all of it. We are very hopeful that we will all be back to a much more normalized existence. Dean Smith, do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, I just wanted to add that we have several study abroad programs that are building a study abroad from home. And Sarah, I don't know if you have maybe some insight on that, as I know you kind of focus with the international students, not the study abroad students, but maybe there's some opportunities that your office may be aware of. But I know the Rutgers Global Office, which is the Rutgers Study Abroad Office, is putting together some opportunities where even though you may not be able to travel to certain countries, that you're still able to get the immersion and connections that you can build globally, at least virtually, with a lot of our partners. Additionally, I know we had some, the question also asked about hands-on research. And I know that that's one of the things that we highlight about the education within our school, is that we want our students to get hands-on experiences and really, apply what they've learned in the classroom outside of the classroom, so that they can be able to build the skills that they need to market themselves or go for a postgraduate study, right? Whether you're thinking about a master's or PhD program. But I would actually like to call our ambassador, Victoria, because she's actually doing research on campus. And I think it would be really great to hear from a student about how they're kind of managing this research and hands-on experiences through this pandemic, because, we are not on campus. The majority of our community is studying remotely, but we do have students on campus engaged in research in different capacities. So this can kind of give you some insight from her perspective. And then Victoria, before you jump in, the last thing I want to also share is that we have a research and hands-on experiences session that's happening later this afternoon, where you can hear from other panelists, and also a study abroad session. So you can hear from our Assistant Dean of International Programs, Megan Francis, and learn more about what these opportunities may look like for 2021 if we're still in this remote space. But Victoria, feel free to jump in if you'd like.
Sure, thank you, Dean Smith. Hi guys, I'm Victoria. Just a little bit about me. I'm a senior here at SEBS. I'm actually at my lab right now, which is really funny, but yeah, so for right now, I'm actually doing in-person research. Right now, it's only restricted to juniors and seniors who are doing it for our senior honors thesis credit. But I would say, I feel very safe doing research here at Rutgers right now. We have weekly testings for students, postdocs, PIs, research techs. Everybody that's involved in the lab gets weekly testing. And also, I wouldn't say there was any change between my experience doing research before the pandemic versus now. All the protocols are pretty much the same, just safer. But I think research through SEBS is a great experience. I'm doing the G.H. Cook honors thesis, and you guys would learn about that in a later panel or event. But yeah, I love my experience here at Rutgers doing research, and I am pursuing research in the future. So it's a great place to, if you want to get your hands in dirty in the lab, this is a great place to do it.
Thank you so much, Victoria. I see we have another question that came in asking if we're planning to continue virtual classes for the fall of 2021 semester. And that's a really great question. And it's a question that unfortunately we don't have a solid answer because everything is just completely developing as we go along. But know that we have administrators and working groups at the institution that are working, really just across the board, trying to find the best ways for us to continue our education in a safe way. So right now we're still in a remote status, but if we're able to get students back on campus, even if we just do 25 or 50% of our student population, we'll be doing that. But right now, no decision has been solidified for the fall of 2021. So we're hoping to be able to be in person. But as Dean Richardson said, let's all stay safe and healthy and continue to practice social distancing and following the guidances of the CDC so that we're able to return back and, obviously in a safe way and in a safe method. Because we know not just you, but the rest of us want to get back and see all of your wonderful faces joining our community as well. Dean Richardson, would you like to answer the next following question? How do we qualify to join the SEBS Honors Program?
Sure, I'm going to make one additional comment about the last question, which is just that the university, our school in particular, we do have a lot of different hands-on components, and we are taking active steps right now to identify with the university specific types of classes that can only be offered on campus. So if you're looking at a program like landscape architecture, we are moving studios into position. And even for this spring semester, we will have studio classes that will be offered for our students on campus. Also hands-on components with the animal science program, which are opening up again for our current students. And so as long as we continue to practice good safety measures, I believe that we will still have our hands-on parts of our education, which can only be offered in those formats that will be in place with the appropriate protocols in place, as Victoria was pointing out. So how do you qualify for the SEBS Honors Program? It's actually programs. So there are two at the university. There's the Honors College, which is a university-wide option. Students are invited from the top group of students in each group of applicants. Well, I'm going to let Sarah talk about the Honors College more because she probably has more information about that part. And the SEBS General Honors Program, it's typically, there probably will be some adjustments this year because it typically is based on a minimum 1350 SAT, as well as being in the 3.5 or better range on a 4.0 scale for your GPA. So the honors, I would attend the honor session later today to make sure that you get the full information. I don't have any updates right now, but Sarah, can you address the Honors College piece?
Absolutely. So the Honors College is an interdisciplinary program, as Dean Richardson alluded to. So students are pulled from all different schools within the university in order to create that Honors College environment. There, in a previous life, was a residential component for those students, and we hope that that will continue next year for our students who are enrolling in the Honors College. But that means Honors College is one of those really great ways to make a big school feel small. All of our incoming Honors College students will live together in the same dorm on our College Ave campus. There are faculty and residents that live inside that building as well, so they're always at your fingertips if you have questions. Students in the Honors College will do collaborative projects with students that are within different academic areas of study in that school. They also do some separate capstone projects as well. So one of the differences between the school-specific honors programs and the Honors College is that students who are doing the school-specific programs are taking classes that are within their major or within the requirements for their school, instead of the Honors College students who are replacing what are the general requirements for the whole university and taking those as honors components. So that's kind of one of the differences. As I mentioned when we were talking about the application process itself, don't listen to anything else I said, just kidding, please listen, but only remember that December 1 deadline. If you do not submit your application to Rutgers before that time, you cannot be considered for either of those programs, so that's really important. This year for Honors College, we are test optional, so students can still be considered in lieu of test scores just based on their grades and their essay for that program. I am unsure whether or not that policy will continue for admissions or for honors, but that is the case for this year. Just so that you're kind of have an understanding of what students who were coming into the Honors College last year had. The average GPA on a 4.0 scale was a 3.9. And the median SAT score for students in the Honors College was a 1530. Thanks.
So we've gotten a few questions just about research, and I know the chat has been a bit active in just sharing some of the resources and ways that you can engage. And as Ms. Blackburn and Dean Richardson spoke, we talked about the honors program and the honors college. There's a number of opportunities for students to conduct research through those respective programs. As Victoria stated, through the George H. Cook Scholars Program, which Dean Richardson spoke about during her presentation, is another great way. And that opportunity usually you apply for it your junior year when you're at the school. But there's other opportunities where you can engage in research early on in your career. You don't have to wait until you're an upperclassman student. And I know we shared, Victoria shared the link for the Rutgers research website where you can kind of learn just about all the ways of getting involved with research. But I also shared additionally a website for the Aresti Research Center, which is a really great way to connect with the research that is being conducted across the institution with different faculties. Again, as we said, Rutgers has over 100 majors, and while the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences houses about 21 of those 100 majors. The great thing is the interdisciplinary approach, and that you may be following your major and the curriculum for a specific area and program, but it doesn't mean that you are going to be excluded from engaging in research in other areas and other disciplines. So it's a really great way of tailoring your undergraduate academic experience to really suit your future career needs and goals. So we have over 175 research centers, and the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences has, I think, a little over 11 of them. So again, not just across our school, but across the institution, there's ways of getting hands-on experience and being involved in research if this is an area of interest for you. But I would like to welcome our student ambassadors to maybe share some of their perspectives. Maybe Gina, you could just share a little bit about your academic experience at Rutgers while we give our participants a little bit more time to share some questions through chat.
Sure. I wanted to add on to the research experience. You can also like get in touch with your professors. Like if you take a class with a certain professor, you can certainly ask them. We are a very D1 research experience school, so you can definitely get in touch with your professors and ask them. Right now, this semester, I'm actually teaching a class for freshmen. It's through the FIG seminar, it's a first year interest group seminar, and you can take classes on basically any field that you're interested in. I'm teaching a class called Exploring Psychology, but they have a range of different fields like exploring landscape architecture or exploring urban planning and policy, exploring exercise science, you name it. But I really recommend if you do plan to attend Rutgers to take one of those seminars as a freshman. They're really engaging. We provide resources that you can get acclimated to, as well as exploring your topical area of interest. So I really recommend taking a FIG seminar your first year.
Thank you so much, Gina. So Natalia, I think it would be great if we hear from you, as we've discussed in other sessions. You know, you're an EPIP major, but you're interested in pre-law. So again, this just gives another perspective of how a student who isn't following like political science or English or history or to go into pre-law, but you're still interested in going to law school, how you kind of connected those two areas, you know, to prepare you for your next career goals.
Well, I actually came in wanting to do environmental policy, and I wanted to do environmental law, so I kind of knew from the jump. But I figured out that I wanted to do that for sure when I joined the pre-law frat on campus. I always say, make sure to just join a lot of clubs when you join Rutgers, because there's so much going on all the time. There's so many organizations, there's so many different things you can join to figure out. Like if you don't know what you want to do, definitely join as many things as you can. And I'm sure that you'll find your place on campus and you'll figure out what you want to do. Because I was very lost at first, but Rutgers really helped me navigate. And now I'm here doing pre-law in an environmental major, and it's very fun. It's very interesting, and I really enjoy it. So I definitely recommend exploring Rutgers once you get here.
Thanks, Natalia. Blanca, are there any tips that you would like to share with the students and just add to the conversation?
Yeah, so I would just suggest doing your research. So I'm currently a junior in the exercise science major, and I originally thought exercise science, I'll probably be a gym teacher or go into medicine, you know, like just stereotypical things when you think about exercise science. But the more I did my own research and I went to my advisors as well to see what students have done in the past within the major, it's amazing to think like I have like 6 different career opportunities that I was never like aware of before I did the research into my major and like the field itself. And of course, there's also academia. So if you love your field so much, you know, you can become a professor that way and pursue education beyond college to teach a course in that field. But yeah, don't feel limited by the options. There's so many opportunities available, and with different experience as well, like different internships that you find yourself in. Um, it gives more of a horizon to look at than just completing your classes. You know, there's so many organizations on campus to be involved with. So yeah, just research.
Thanks, Blanca. I think you definitely gave great advice. And sometimes when we look at a particular major, for those students who may be interested in like pre-medicine and going to medical school, you often think, well, biological sciences is the way to go. But through today's sessions, you'll hear from our faculty and staff and our students in our panels and the rest of our sessions to learn about the fact that you can really go to medical school with any degree, as long as you take the prerequisite courses. And of course, you qualify and have all of the rest of your application materials. But you're actually better off and have a more unique application if you choose a different major than biological sciences, because it's the most popular major that students choose. So I think it's really great advice to just do your homework, do your research, but know that there's a lot of options for you. So if you are undecided, it's okay. As Sarah said, is the most popular kind of choice and major at the university. And I think students who are undecided really are more open to choosing other areas that may be of interest to them that they weren't aware of before. But for those who do have a specific option, know that there's other minors and other majors that you can also choose and explore. And even if you're not thinking of adding a double major, just take the class, because when you're taking your courses, your major is not going to account for the 120 credits that you need to graduate. So you have the opportunity of just taking some classes just to experience and learn something new. So Dean Richardson, I know we're getting close to the end of this session. If you would like to maybe reshare your screen so that our students can connect with us. And again, if our student ambassadors can just share the link to the open house website, we'd love to encourage the rest of you to join the academic sessions that will be starting at 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, if you're here on the East Coast. But we look forward to connecting with you in other sessions. And again, connect with us, email us, and chat with us if you have any questions through our website. We'd be more than delighted to assist you. And for all of my seniors, again, just remember December 1 as the deadline. So I just want to point to our panelists. If you have any other last minute words or thoughts, I just wanted to say thank you to those who shared, and thank you all the panelists who joined us today.
Yes, I want to really also reiterate that, you know, one of the fabulous things about being at Rutgers University, about a school that is a Division I research institution, part of the Big Ten, is you don't have limitations. And you have really a world of opportunity available to you here, not only within the university itself, as you heard Ms. Blackburn present about how many different first year units, how many different units first year students can apply into at the university. You also can take classes across different schools and really discover who you are while you are here, whether it's through one of the organizations that are, you know, one of the students corrected me. I said we had 500 plus. One of our students corrected me and said, no, it's actually 600 plus. That's amazing. You have so many different things here, people that you can connect with, but within a School of Environmental and Biological Sciences, which creates a nice small community for you to begin your engagement at the university and build mentorships for the future. So I am so happy that you all joined us today. And I want you to make sure that you connect back to our open house website, go to those other sessions today, check out the videos for our various majors, and really get to know the Rutgers University that is here on the banks of the Raritan. Thanks so much, everybody. Did anybody else have additional pieces to add in?
There was a question in the chat asking if there's a waiver fee for the application.
I think that's me. So we are able to waive the application in some circumstances. So please feel free to connect with the admissions office and we'd be happy to share that information with you, just to let you know what's needed in order to waive the application. And while I'm talking, I'll just say that if you work with undergraduate students at a university, you are literally being paid to answer their questions. That's what we do. We are here to help you guys. So if there's anything that you want to know about an application, about the university, about the research opportunities, what have you, please don't hesitate to ask. That's why we're here. And I'll just say that the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences works so well with prospective students. They are so welcoming and gracious and helpful. So please don't be shy. Ask whatever you need. Another question just came in about the application deadlines and stuff like that. So for students who apply by November 1st, which was our early action deadline, those students can expect to receive a decision from the university no later than mid-February. You may get the decision sooner, but that is the drop dead date that you would hear. For students who have applied for the regular admission deadline of December 1st, you are guaranteed your decision by mid-March. Again, you may hear sooner, but that's when you would absolutely expect to receive a decision. As soon as a change has been made or a decision has been made, you'll receive an email letting you know to check your status screen because that's where the decision will be.
All right, well, thank you all. Thank you to our panelists and my student ambassadors and Dean Smith for jumping in here with me. She is a supreme hostess of the virtual events. And I want to thank all the participants for coming today. I hope that we are going to see you at sessions later throughout this day. And I hope that I'll be greeting you to the university as a first-year student in the future. So thanks so much and have a wonderful, wonderful experience. Take care, everybody.
Carol. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.